Let's look at a few specific lines from Be Thou My Vision, the song. Verse 1 of Be Thou My Vision says, Be Thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Or a modernized saying of that would be, You, Jesus, be my vision. Not be all else to me, save that thou art. Which is another way of saying, let nothing else be nearly as important as you are. And then he says, waking or sleeping, thy presence, my light. I experience God in my sleep through dreams. I experience waking up in the middle of the night and being with God and having some amazing times with God. So whether you're waking or sleeping, the heart of this song is, I'm keeping my connection with Christ. I recommend saying to God, if my vision is just all about me and my ideas, Lord, tell me. God, adjust my vision, tweak my vision. God will use a heart like that, that's willing to say, God, your will, not mine, be done. Sometimes God lets us fail just so we'll grow. So don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about getting off track. If you feel like you're going to die, you're in good company, because Paul felt just the same. He literally says that in one of his letters to the Corinthians. He said, we felt like we were going to die, but that happened in order that we would learn to rely on God even more. He said, we felt the sentence of death hanging over us. I mean, remember, Paul was stoned, people throwing rocks at him. He was shipwrecked. He went hungry. He went sleepless. I'm sure Patrick experienced similar opposition when he was in Ireland. Incredible spiritual warfare. So again, this song is a pursuit of intimacy with God, meditating on the Lord and inviting His presence day and night. Thou my best thought by day or by night. Writer of these lyrics understood, I'm going to pack my mind full of God thoughts, which is something we must do if Christ is going to be our vision. We have to pour into ourselves God information through whatever means we can, video, books, songs, meditation, prayer, you name it. Another line, I ever with thee, and thou with me, Lord. See, I'm always with you. You're always with me. Like Jesus said, make your home in me. I'll make my home in you. Another line, thou my great Father, I thy true child. You know, a beautiful picture of intimacy between father and child. Thou in me dwelling, and I with thee one. That's the union between us and Christ. In verse 3, Christ himself is our armor, the sword of the Spirit, the word of truth, the peace of the gospel, the faith of Christ working in us. Be thou my dignity, thou my delight. I love that. How do we experience dignity under the shadow of God's wings? Well, it's because He pours His love on us, and it dignifies us to know that we are children of royalty. We know we are adopted children of the High King. We know we are highly valued by Him. This gives us dignity, gives us value and worth. That's how you endure seasons of feeling like you're dying and keeping going with your life and your vision. Another line from the song, Heart of my own heart, whatever may befall, whatever happens, still be my vision, O ruler of all. The commitment is to continue going. This intimate connection, that's what makes it work. Riches I heed not, nor vain empty praise, or nor man's empty praise is another rendition. Those are two things that easily derail us from an important vision in life. Seeking money as our number one, or seeking the approval of people as our number one. Seek Christ and He'll give you money. Seek Christ and He'll give you favor from people. Just don't get the priorities in the wrong order. We don't get a great reward from seeking any of those things as our number one. Our idols always disappoint us. To make Christ your vision, know the person. Gaze on the beauty of Christ. Gaze on His truth. Worship Him. Let your mind be filled with the glory of God. Spend times daily with him. Like Jesus says in Matthew, go hide in your closet and pray. Be by yourself. Cultivate slowness in your soul. Slow down and enjoy him. Be with him. Wait for him. Listen to him. Then you get that conversational relationship with Jesus established. And at that point, projects can be discussed. So let's get the first question in the proper place of authority, or everything else will go sideways. Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Dive into God with all your heart. Seek him diligently, and he'll show you whichever visions that he knows you need to see. Don't let the voices of naysayers belittle you. You know, one thing about Patrick is that all those years he was in slavery in Ireland, he lost those years of education as a young man. And so he had a very elementary knowledge of Latin, which in those days, that was important for a teacher of the Bible. So he wasn't very well educated. And some people made fun of him for that. He was embarrassed by his lack of scholarship, but he didn't let that stop him. And of course, he had an incredible impact on the nation of Ireland and on all of us in the generations after him. Okay, in just a minute, we are going to hear that song, Be Thou My Vision, and I welcome you to sing or just listen. Meditate on the truth of God. Bless you.
Be thou my vision, O Lord.